I'm Aden Matthews.
And I'm Zach Snyder.
And welcome back to another YouTube podcast, the one-stop shop for everything and anything related to YouTube.
The show where I have to ask you, Aden.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you so sus?
Sus? Me?
What?
When have I ever been sus, Zachary?
It started on July.
So you can't even name one specific time. You can't even think of anything.
7 p.m.
Don't listen to him. He can't think of nothing.
Where you sent me an image of Luigi.
No sus.
Who was
in my
cheeked
entire
up
body.
on a Sunday.
He's capping. He's the sus one. 100%.
This is another YouTube podcast, and we got a very important topic on hand today. But I did have to mention something that I actually left out last episode.
Neglected, I would say. Neglected to
yeah.
mention.
I got Mr. Parker Mile, our good friend of CPKG Carry and I Gaming fame, on the first and only episode of Why You So Sus, the podcast, where I asked Parker why he was so sus after he didn't think that would be the thing I would ask him, and he responded quite well. It was really funny.
He did surprisingly well. You know, he kind of rolled off it. I was actually surprised to see the improv go so well for him, because I thought he would have gotten angry, but he did not.
Right. I also like when you go to the LHG channel and you hover over that episode, you see the background used for like 2 seconds, and then another 2 seconds of the Among Us twerking gif. It's just clearly there.
Remember when LHG was about the Let's Plays? About the gaming content?
Sure. Hey, we have not messed up our promise to deliver epic gaming content.
That's true.
So
that is very much epic gaming content. And I think it actually broke the record, too, because it's the first video you've appeared in at all this year for LHG, because the last time you were even there in a video was the Fortnite one, and then Stardew as a guest cameo before that.
Right. I'm in like 2 Stardew episodes, and then the host of that video. So
the host of the epic podcast that unfortunately cannot return, because the joke kind of depends on people not seeing it. So
yeah,
kind of a weird show concept in that sense.
You know what podcast can return?
What?
The podcast where we talk about shit for a few minutes, and then we talk about our sponsor, and then finally we get into the topic.
Huh.
So
yeah, I feel like I've heard of that one before.
Let me get into that. Our sponsor today is Awesome Creator Academy. The YouTube Starter Kit. Getting started on YouTube, you have a little bit of money to throw around. Why not check out the YouTube Starter Kit? $99. Get over $1,500 of value. Dozens of downloads from advanced YouTube thumbnails, channel artwork, in cards, lower thirds, royalty-free background music, fonts, and more. Pay one price, have unlimited access to future downloads as they come out. Check out the links in the description or the show notes. You'll be supporting your everyday nerd and another YouTube podcast.
But mainly your everyday nerd, first and foremost.
Ooh.
But of course, if you don't have $100 and you still want to support this podcast, not your everyday nerd, you can become a supporter on Anchor at anchor.fm/another-YouTube-podcast. You can decide to support us financially at $1, $5, or $10 a month, and we'll read your name on the podcast. While we plan to do this podcast for a real long time, the more financial support we have, the easier it'll be for us to maintain a consistent schedule. Unlike your everyday nerd.
That shit funny.
Do not be on this consistent schedule in
a
hot minute or so.
Well, what is a consistent schedule when you really think about it?
We should do a whole episode on that. Write that down.
Yeah. I got you. We need more topics.
We need more topics anyway. And I feel like that one could be entertaining for like 5 minutes.
Speaking of topics, what is our topic today?
So, long-time viewers of the podcast might remember a little episode we did way back in the day called Rebranding Zack Snyder Productions. And it was kind of a pivotal episode in the show because it was at the point in time when Zack realized he needed to make a change finally getting off of the crack cocaine based videos and moving over to a more heroin approach, which turned out to be more search friendly. No, it was it was when Zach was kind of pivoting away from Zack Snyder production stuff more over to Yin. And we just kind of talked about what was going on with that, the changes he was trying to make, debating back and forth the changes. And we're kind of at that point again. Only this time, it's not with Zach at all. Yin's still doing banging. No, it's actually with Aden of Blue Couch Productions.
Shit.
I'm the one making some changes, some drastic changes to
Pretty
the
big
YouTube
changes.
channel. And we're going to talk about it in this episode. The good, the bad, the worries, all of it. About, 15 days before I actually go through with it? So
yeah, coming up pretty quickly. It was a very quick decision made on your part.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see what happens.
By the time you're listening to it, it'll already be a thing. So
This is true.
But for us, we're recording it on the 15th, so we don't know. What am I talking about? Why am I beating around the bush? All right, so let me take you back to, 2 nights ago at this point? Don't even have to take you that far back. We were kind of, just goofing. Two bros being bros, hanging out, checking out the analytics for a bunch of YouTube channels, some epic, some not epic. And then we started to stumble over to the good old Aden of Blue Couch Productions channel, and we noticed something, or more specifically, you noticed something. Tell them what caught your eye.
So one of the things that you've kind of struggled with over the last couple of years is we've seen this stagnation on your channel and the subscriber base. Essentially, you've been at around the same number for like 2 to 3 years.
Three, I believe.
Right. Which has been like the worst part of the YouTube experience, I think, on your end. Over this time period. And I was curious because one of the things you can look at in the analytics is your all-time subscriber gains and losses. And so what it says is that over the course of 5 years, when you started Blue Couch Productions, you've gained about 500 subscribers. 600, I believe. 600 something subscribers. Which means, considering you're at like 366 right now, you've lost about 300 subscribers. And so my question was, well, we kind of knew why you lost subscribers in the first place, because in the past you kind of put out a lot of Let's Plays and other kinds of content, and then you changed your content at some point. Live streams too, really big in the live streams. We'll talk about that in a bit. But
right.
One of the things that I noticed was over the last 3 years, you have lost more subscribers than you gained. And I really believe that it has impacted the algorithm when it comes to recommending your videos to people that might be interested in it.
And so the way we looked at it was by checking the subscriber source, or where they were coming from. And so YouTube will tell you how many people subbed from the watch page, from recommended, from all these different feeds. And what we came to find, 2016 was a short half year, but it consisted of growth, good amount of subscribers. 2017, the same, even bigger, practically doubled. Longtime fans will know that I hit 300 subs back in 2017 because that's when I made my top 10 home Pokemon video around my birthday, and that's when we hit 300. 2018 was the last year of positive sub growth. And even then, you can start to tell that I'm losing a good bit more subs, but the positive outweighed the negative. 2018 past that, so every year after, 2019, 2020, 2021, has all been negative sub growth. So even though I'll gain 30 subs in a year, I'll lose, let's say, 35 to 40. And it's never been drastic. I've never fallen off the face of the earth or have lost 30 to 40 or 50 subs in a month. But it always seems to kind of mellow out, where for a 3-4 year stretch of time, you can check my TubeBuddy account, my sub line will go up for the first couple years, then kind of sort of peak in 2018, and a flat line ever since then. And keep in mind, 2018 was a long time ago. 2018 was when LHG started. 2018 is like early days of Yin at a certain point. 2018 is before Jay rebranded his content, before Carrie and I got rid of the gaming label, right?
Yeah.
Before our Discords got to the point where it was, before I started streaming on Twitch to become an affiliate.
True.
The majority of this podcast you have listened to has been from 2018 on. So even though that sounds like 2018, no, that wasn't too long ago, in a 2021 context, in the context of this podcast, in the context of this YouTube channel, it has been a long time. And over that entire period, I have experienced no significant growth whatsoever. So clearly, something had to be up, right?
And we keep in mind, it's like you haven't experienced growth in the numbers, but your creative output has experienced substantial growth.
Yep.
So the biggest issue here is not that your channel stagnated. It's not that you're not getting subscribers. It's that you changed your content essentially in 2018, and every video that you've put out then that is currently public and that is a lot better than your past stuff has only gained you 60 subscribers.
Right.
The other 306 subscribers that you have right now, by the way, you lost 2 over the last couple of days. That's cool.
I know where they're from, though.
Okay, cool.
I know why.
That's good.
I know why.
That's good. Well, the other 306 subscribers you gained before this new content. And so there's the possibility of another 300 subscribers disappearing over the next couple of years, too.
Right.
Because they came in before you made the content that you do now.
So what's to say it doesn't continue for the next couple of years?
Right.
And so we tried to figure out, like, okay, but if I'm making good content now, shouldn't it not matter in the long run? As long as I keep making good stuff, shouldn't there be the point where those old subscribers don't matter anymore? And I'll just get enough more of a new subscriber base from the newer type of stuff I put it out. That was my thought process.
Right.
Pretty much all of last year was, okay, we're not getting any sub growth. We're going to continue to lose stuff over the years, but I'm also continuing to gain, right? I'm not dropping off significantly. And ideally, one video hits off, none of it matters anymore. Jay the Zoom stream, like he put out one good video and then none of it mattered. So as long as I kept pushing through, it should be fine. But then 1 year of pushing through turned into 2, and then 2 into 3, and my creative output never stopped. I never stopped experiencing growth. I never stopped learning how to edit, how to improve my content. I'm sure you've all noticed the Zelda video better than anything I fucking made back in 2018 and 2017. I had a whole season at 30 for 30, a whole season of Back to the Video Games. A variety of content, to be sure, but we even got down the niche part. We used to think it was the niche, remember? Doing the Let's Plays and the streams and all that, so we narrowed it down, hoping that would do something, and it didn't. We tried all these little ideas and plans, and nothing was seeming to work until finally we kind of narrowed the cause on one specific group of people that we're pretty sure came from the people who subbed when I did Pokemon live streams.
Right. Essentially, for those that wonder, a very basic understanding of the YouTube algorithm is back in 2017, when Aden was doing live streams of Pokemon content, he would get people to come on those videos and those live streams. They would subscribe. They would tune into the next stream and the next stream, maybe some Let's Plays. Either way, Aden was getting consistent growth because he did a thing that people liked, and that's what they came for. As soon as he uploaded something that wasn't a Pokemon live stream or wasn't even related to Pokemon to begin with, those people probably saw that video in their sub box. They were probably recommended on the homepage or beside another video that they were watching. They saw it, but they didn't click on it. And what that tells YouTube is either the title or the thumbnail could have been better, or what's more likely is that the people that saw the video wasn't interested in the topic.
Right.
So, on a grand scheme of things, you'd think that wouldn't be a problem. But if Aden had 300 subscribers that tuned in for Pokemon live streams and they saw a video about a Sega Genesis game and they didn't click on that Sega Genesis game, that tells YouTube that Aiden's core audience doesn't care about the content he's making, which means that YouTube's not going to recommend that video to too many other people. Right. And so it just means that he's put out a lot of videos that I consider to be some of his best that he's ever made, and stuff that stands toe-to-toe with other YouTube content that I watch on a consistent basis. It's just told YouTube not to share those with other people, which means that they don't get even close to the amount of views that they deserve.
So my whole theory of like just waiting for one of the videos to take off is now significantly harder, because if my audience isn't going to watch it, then why would YouTube push it out for newer people to see it also? So it just became something that could happen potentially, but it was going to be harder and harder and harder until I gradually phased out that group of people. And given that it had already been 3 years and we only had gotten rid of 60, right? About 60 or so of that core group, that behavior, that pattern was more than likely going to continue. And given the fact that, I want to do well on YouTube, I don't necessarily kind of want to languish or feel like I'm in a problem that I can't fix. We were trying to kick around solutions, some ideas of what we could do. And the one that made the most sense also happens to be one of the most drastic, and that is starting a new channel. Made the most sense.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean that's it. The idea is that hopefully by starting a new channel, you will give some of these. Let me compare it to the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch.
Oh boy.
My theory is that the people that subscribed to the Wii U didn't get what they wanted for a long time, so they didn't buy the Wii U. They didn't buy the Blue Couch Productions channel anymore or watch the videos. So by putting them on a new platform, hopefully they'll actually do significantly better. Mainly though, it's gonna hopefully reset the algorithm for you, give you a little bit more time to. I mean, it's demotivating, right?
Yeah.
Like you've kept to the same subscriber base for so long. The whole just make better content obviously hadn't worked because you have made better content. The whole just put out shit more consistently, like. I mean, I guess, sure, your schedule could have been more consistent, theoretically, but, like, you put out 30 videos almost, like, within a month or two. Like, that's... And they're good videos. So it's like, you kind of were doing the quality thing, you were kind of doing the quantity thing. You could argue both could have been better for anybody and everybody. But at this point, I think it's clearly, like, an algorithm issue that hopefully will be solved, or at least... the outcome will be better than 60 subscribers in a year. I think the outcome will be better than that on a new channel, giving these videos a new life to live.
Given a chance to succeed, where the only context people have of this channel isn't Pokemon, isn't live streams, isn't any of that. It's strictly video games and interesting media. What I set out to make that change way back in 2019, 2020, where I'm like, I'm going to focus on that. And I thought I could just simply make that change, private all the videos, and it would be fine. But you can't really private an audience. You can't really like reset that on a fundamental YouTube level without like, oh geez, I don't know, like making a video telling everybody to leave, but there's no guarantee that'll do well, and that won't be received well either. And it's just like, at a certain point, I've put in 5 years to this channel. I've put in 3 or more trying to fix this problem every other way I know how. And believe me, like, I know it sounds like I just, man, Aiden's really resorting to this. Why couldn't he just do better thumbnails or better titles or whatever? Clearly something has to be wrong with his own content, and he's just exaggerating, trying to find any other option that doesn't make him look bad. I know it sounds conceited. Believe me, it sounds conceited when I said it. But I've tried it. I've tried a good bit of all of that. And I think at the very least, there's no harm in me making a new channel, seeing how they do in a more fair, lighter environment. And hey, if they don't do well, at the very least, I cleansed that subscriber base and now have a
Mm-hmm.
more dedicated audience who are just excited to see what I put out and not still giving me comments literally like I got about a week ago from some dude named Hector who was like, "Yo, remember me? I did the Toga Kiss trade go well?" in a video about ranking Mario levels that got 17 views. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want that anymore. I don't want that to be my brand. I don't want that to be my identity. I don't want it to hurt what I'm working on. I don't want to be reminded of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because back when I did that sort of stuff in 2017, 2016, I had no idea how the YouTube algorithm worked. I had no idea how channels worked. I thought I did. We started the podcast. I thought I knew how it worked.
Yeah.
But clearly I didn't. And I made so many like fundamental mistakes along the way. At a certain point, it would just be nice to use all that knowledge for a new concentrated effort rather than trying to fix the sinking ship that's been sinking for 3 years, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the good news is for you and anybody else listening that's curious about this experiment is that it's been done before by other channels. Big channels I've seen where there's like there was a certain amount of content and a certain type of content they were making, and they decided to switch it up. When they switched it up, the algorithm clearly didn't like what they were doing. People were unsubscribing. People were not watching their content anymore. Their solution: make a new channel. Then they got successful again. It happened like fairly quickly for these bigger channels. And then like there's a lot of smaller channels that have had 2, 3, 4 other YouTube projects that didn't go well. But number five channel, that one was the one that hit them. That was the one that did it. So I'm not saying go out and make a bunch of YouTube channels and wait until one hits off. But what I am saying is I think that you've worked on your content pretty consistently and gotten better over the past 3 years. And you can take that knowledge to a new channel, and that stuff will hopefully help these videos do a lot better than what they have in the past.
And I'm sure a lot of you are wondering at home, like, when you lose all your viewers, are you not worried about that? And it's like, man, I was at a point where I had maybe 20,000 views just from streams alone. And then I privated it, and that bitch went down to 4,000. And then I privated more videos, and it went down lower. At this point, I don't care about losing the total number of views. Be another camp will be like, oh, won't it suck having to start from 0 subs again? No, I'm actually really excited. I'm excited to find out my core fan base of those 300. And I'm excited to grow it with the knowledge that I now have. I think I have the potential to get it back up to there even farther in a year under the right climate and conditions. So now I'm not worried about that. Aren't you worried to having to start all over again and upload all the videos and stuff? And we're going to get a little bit into the plan. But believe me, I've thought about the pros and cons. This wasn't just some, wild decision with no forethought put into it. Me and Zach talked for a good bit about both the pros and cons with a system like this and a switch like this. And even after looking at both sides of it, I was willing to give away whatever to get a bit more of a second sort of cleaner, more fair shot. The pros just made more sense to me.
I agree. I'm pretty looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. But do you want to get into the plan now?
The game plan,
The game plan featuring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Featuring The Rock, star of the new Disney Plus movie Jungle Cruise. Heard it's one of the best summer movies of the year, by the way.
Sure. People are hyping that movie up. I think it's because the first thing they watched in theaters.
Probably. They're looking for anything.
The Rock. Cool.
The Rock in it? You know
hyping
what else
up that
has
Ryan
The Rock?
Reynolds movie, too. Yeah,
Fast 9.
Sure
Fast
does.
9 got The Rock in it.
Sure does.
You can watch that in theaters instead. Don't need Jungle Cruise.
I guess, if you want it. I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen any. I saw one of them recently. That was it.
Did it bang?
It was alright. I saw Tokyo Drift. It was
alright. That's fair.
It was alright.
Fine. Car movie.
It's fine.
Sure.
Car movie, yeah. Didn't have Mater in it, so
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Mater. Anyway, the game plan, right?
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What's our plan here? So initially, when I had, slight thoughts about this before, part of the reason I didn't do it was the idea of like, oh, man, I'm going to have to come up with a new channel name. I'm going to have to come up with a new brand. I'm going to have to rebrand everything after I just did, maybe not a month ago. I don't think I'm ready to put in all that work again and start fresh with a new identity. And then it kind of hit me, wait a minute. I don't have to start over with a new identity.
Right.
Some social medias, right, when you make an account, some names are already taken. You can't just reuse a name you have. If it's on an account, it's kind of just stuck to that account. YouTube is pretty based in the fact, and maybe it's a detriment too, that you could literally make a new channel and just copy everything from one to another with no consequences whatsoever. And in my case, since I'm not going to be using the original channel anymore, there's nothing stopping me from just making a new channel, titling it Blue Couch Productions, putting on the branding, about page links and everything, and just going about my regular life as if nothing changed. Obviously, things will be different. The start date on the channel will be different. The views will be different. The videos will probably be different. We'll get into that. But it was kind of a little bit of a revelation to realize, oh, wait, no, I can just reuse the Blue Couch Productions name, likeness, branding, all of it, and not really have to change many of my social medias at all to fix it. The only thing I'd have to change is links. So that was kind of a huge revelation to me.
Yeah, it's wild because we have had talked about this before about you making a new channel, but like you said, you didn't want to change anything, which made sense, and you don't have to. That's what's really good about this is you'll still have Blue Couch Productions as the name. All the information will all still be the same, and a lot of the videos will still be the same too. But we can get into that for sure.
And that's the second part. All right, Aden. Well, on Blue Couch Productions, you've made essentially up to 400 videos, not counting live streams. There's about 61 of them public right now. Are you not planning to just release all of them again or just make new videos, or what's the idea here? Well, like we talked about earlier, me and Zach believe that some of these videos that didn't do well on Blue Couch Productions have a shot at doing well on a new channel. But obviously, not every video is fit to come over. Not every video is a good candidate to just be brought over with no changes added whatsoever. So I got a list. I got a spreadsheet. I got a schedule. And literally, I went through all my videos, decided what to keep, what not to keep, what to stay the same, what to re-edit or even remake. And now we have a list. So yes, you will still be seeing all the Blue Couch Productions videos that are public right now in one form or another. But the order in which you might get them in, whether or not they're the original videos or a remade version, or whether they've been scrapped altogether, it's all going to be a little bit different this time around. But yes, for the most part, I am re-uploading a good bit of the old public catalog just to see how it does a second time around.
Mm-hmm. And at least in this case, where like even if theoretically none of these videos do good on a second channel, at least the ones that do gather some more views and a couple of subs, they'll be more in tune with whatever content you decide to put out next, right? More than the current audiences on the current channel. And that's kind of the idea, is that hopefully, and I do think that some of these videos will do significantly better on a new channel, because I think YouTube will actually recommend them to the right people. But also, the channel has a very clear structure and idea of what it is from the very beginning, which will be dope.
And it also means I get to do a little bit of revisionist history as well. So some projects that didn't release on time, let's say, now can suddenly release when I intended them to, how I intended them to. I essentially, unlike the vast majority of new channels, have 60 good videos of content just waiting to put out whenever I want. So now I can do things like LOL. Remember how I said Back to the Video Games was going to be weekly and then it wasn't for a while? Ta-da, they're fixed. One video every Friday. Remember how I said 30 for 30 was going to have all the episodes in a month and then it didn't happen? Well, look at that. Another chance. All 30 for 30s uploaded on the month they were intended to. Perfectly there, one after another. Remember how I made some videos that were planned for different times of the year, but they weren't quite released properly, like the olive video? Well, stick around. Maybe this holiday season, you'll be seeing it at a more appropriate time. I can essentially rewrite the rules, create a new upload schedule, fix how I want videos to show up and in what order they show up. Maybe some videos will make more sense now that they're related to different spots. I can essentially have the freedom to take all of these videos and put them in their best space forward to succeed.
Exactly. And that'll be really cool. I mentioned to you earlier that there's these things called tentpole events. And it's like just holidays or big like releases for certain games or movies and these kind of things that if you make a video around this time, it's probably going to do better around that time than it would any other time of the year. And you have that written in the schedule too for some of these videos. So they'll come out during a couple of these events, which will hopefully mean the video does better.
Who knows?
Right.
Maybe they will. And that's not to say every video will do better. I'm sure some will naturally do worse, either due to age or topic relevance. Some videos have to get cut in general simply because they are very dated to one specific time. So it doesn't make sense to re-upload them or even try to remake them. And that's the other thing, too, that I'm really excited about is, I'm going to be remaking some of these videos. Not many, because after all, if I'm remaking a video literally every week, won't be much time to put out any new stuff, which I still intend to do, right? I'm a busy guy. I still want to make new videos. So remaking some older ones gives me the opportunity to still be involved as I'm re-uploading old stuff to be like, I always thought I could do a better job on, I'll just reveal one of them, the F-Zero video. I always thought I could have done a better job on the F-Zero video. Well, now I have the perfect opportunity to remake it how I would have wanted to with all the knowledge that I have. And it'll do way better in the context of the other sort of video game reviews and Back to the Video Games that'll already be out by then.
True. That'll be really cool. And I like some of these other ones that you're gonna remake. I think it'll be cool to see a newer spin on it. Especially some of them are like super old. And while
we're talking
topic
2016.
right,
old.
right.
Yeah.
2016 videos that like topic wise, it obviously makes sense that you made a video about it. But the video not particularly good anymore. Like it needs something new. It needs something fresh. So it'll be cool to see those remade in a modern Aden context. Look forward to that.
And then they'll do better, hopefully. So I don't want to reveal the schedule. I don't want to reveal the dates because obviously, number one, it's not set in stone as of the time of recording this. Dates could change. I could feel that maybe some more videos should be cut or some should be added. I'm not 100% sold on this. I'm literally going to be seeing it week by week. Even videos that I re-upload might still have minor edits or changes in case I say something stupid. And I'm like, no, I don't want that public anymore. I might have to make minor edits week to week. Who knows? But I'm still going to be involved in the process. And we ended up scoping it out pretty much. And, I thought that 60 videos wasn't that many. 61 videos wasn't that many. But looking at the schedule, this bitch goes all the way to May. So we're gonna be doing this for a good long while. All the while I'll be able to make new content, form a backlog, and hopefully stick to that Friday upload schedule that I established with these re-uploads, and pretty much be the most consistent I have ever been on YouTube before in my entire career.
It'll be dope. It'll be really cool to see how that affects the channel, because we talked about it before, but it's like consistency is like one of the pillars that YouTube content is built off of. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like for you, because like I said earlier, you've had moments where you put out at least 1 or 2 videos a month for a long time. I don't think you've missed too many months. since 2018. So it'll be cool to see what a weekly schedule will do for you.
Sometimes even 2 videos a week, given special events or days, you know.
Right, right.
Might be getting a little bit more than you thought you were getting the whole time. So, all in all, it's going to be a process. It's going to be a bit of work. I'm going to have to put in just more time back into the Blue Couch catalog once again, which I felt like I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 years. So, part of it's a little old territory for sure. Like, I've done this 1,000 times trying to make my channel a better fit. But now I think at least, number 1, it'll be the last time I do it, so I can finally move on. And number 2, it should hopefully make the biggest impact altogether.
Are there any big worries or stressors that you have currently?
So the schedule was obviously the first one,
Right.
It was like, should I just release them all in the order they came out, or how should I do this? Should some videos even go out? And that's a big stressor because you're dealing with 60 videos. So how do you plan them all to be the most efficient? And it's still a little bit of a worry for sure, but I feel like we've kind of nailed that down a little bit. The other thing is of course the big fear, right? Is maybe I've been delusional. Maybe there was no algorithm disadvantage and the videos just tank regardless, even if it is on a new channel. And I would have spent several months essentially doing nothing but re-upload them and not even see that much of an advantage. Of course, that's a worry. But number 1, can't really control that. YouTube's going to do what YouTube's going to do, right?
True.
And number 2, I'm confident in these videos. I'm confident in this content. I think it'll do well. All it takes is the risk and the belief into wanting them to succeed and giving them a chance to begin with. And, you know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'll have new videos to put out regardless. And it'll be like nothing's ever happened for sure. But yeah, part of me wonders, like, what if I don't hit that growth I was looking for? What if it's a little slower than I imagined? What if, you know, it feels like it wasn't worth all the struggle, but clearly I still believe in it because I'm willing to go through with it just to find out.
Definitely.
And I'd say the other thing too, the last thing is gonna be kind of a shakeup for the community for a little bit, just for a little bit of time.
I'm sure.
So I'm gonna essentially be like, hey, everybody in the Discord, I haven't made this announcement personally yet, but by the time you're listening to it, I have. Gonna be stopping the channel you've all been following for 5 years to essentially do it again. If you're interested, please resub and rewatch these videos if you can, because I could sure use the push. And, you know, on the one hand, I'll narrow it down to the people who really and honestly care about me, and that'll be exciting. On the other hand, I'm sure I'm going to downscale a lot from that too.
Yeah.
And cut out a good bit of people who might not have been interested. And so it's going to kind of feel a little bit like an end of an era. And that's always a little sad too, especially if people don't take it well.
That's true.
But you've taken it well. Jay's taken it well. I imagine Parker will when I tell him.
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in the people around me that they'll be supportive and enjoy it. But of course, you know, I could do this and people be like, no, fuck this, I'm leaving. I'm not waiting another year for this channel to finally get back to where it needed to. What am I gonna do? So hopefully the remade videos and the newer stuff can keep longtime fans around, because I don't want them to go either. You know, as much as I'm doing it for the new crowd, I still very much want all the homies and all the people who've been following me from day one to stick around.
I think it, you know, if we look back to what I did in 2017 with making Zack Snyder Productions, before it became Yin, but it was like a brand new, you know, we had this conversation for me years ago before the podcast started, and it was, I had similar issues. I was like, oh man, like, you know, I had around 300 subs on Subijin Games, and I was like, I'm gonna lose all that to make this new channel. And there's a couple people that didn't follow me over, I'm sure of, but it was like everybody that I distinctly remembered in the community that supported me no matter what I made, they came through. And they may not watch everything I put out now, but I at least know that they've kept up with me, which has been really cool. So I think it's gonna be a better change than any kind of downsides, really. And I think most of the main people will move over to it, and essentially, if they stay with you in the last 3 years, even on the Discord, they'll probably keep going over, right?
Right.
Because you'll still be making that similar content, so that'll be cool.
If you followed the past 3 years and have enjoyed it, even while we've been on a downturn, I can't imagine too much more of a downturn would really change anything, right? So,
right.
Who knows? Maybe these people are already ride or die. They're good to go with whatever.
And like, what are they losing? They can't rewatch a bunch of videos throughout, for like a couple months. They'll be back up at some point. So,
yeah,
that'll be people are rewatching the videos to begin with, right? So who knows? So.
Don't worry. I'll go through the process of updating them links. I'm gonna update the descriptions. I'm gonna DM friends and people I haven't talked to in 3 years to fix the Blue Couch Productions list. Link in their descriptions and any videos I might have featured on. I'm gonna do it with all the socials. I'm gonna do it to YouTube podcast. If you're listening to another YouTube podcast right now, check the Aden of Blue Couch Productions link down there. It's gonna be updated by the time you're listening to this. So
yeah,
just know I'm gonna be a madman. I'm gonna be updating links. I'm gonna be making sure. I'm gonna pretty much make it as seamless as possible, so you won't notice much of any of a major difference. You'll just be from one channel that's called Blue Couch Productions to another one. The only thing you have to do is, if you want to follow me, subscribe to the new channel. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll do literally the rest of the work, but I need people who are interested to sub, and don't do it if you're not actually going to watch the content. If you've been feeling like you were already kind of disinterested, and the fact that you're hearing me kind of shift even more away from Pokemon and focusing more on video game and essay stuff, feel free to leave. But I hope a lot of people stick around. The damn alarm clock's going off. Ruined my train of thought.
It is currently 7 a.m. for me and 6 a.m. for Aden.
Where's my groove?
Doing early boy. Aden been up for a while, and I just got up a couple hours ago. So yeah,
I mostly
early
got
boy
my
clock
out. So
cool.
It just had to be interrupted.
It's going to be a really cool change to see. I do think that this is going to be for the best, because we looked through all other like options, and it was like, get on a very strict weekly schedule and don't deviate from it for like 3 years, or that's it. Like, that was the only other option. And when I looked, and when we talked about like the videos you have put out over the last year and how much content you did put out, it just still made no sense that we still didn't see much growth there. Especially when the quality has been so much better.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't make shit to begin with. You were making pretty solid videos in 2018, 2019, but like 2020 and 2021, just, I mean, objectively, your best shit. And so
Thanks,
I think this really makes sense.
I'm excited for it,
I'm happy.
As scary as it sounds in parts, and as worried as I can get, obviously, about it. No, I'm kind of thrilled. I kind of can't wait to size down and do the new channel thing, because I love doing the new channel thing so much.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to actually have a good reason to do it this time, and it won't be some random side project or something I can't control. Like, no, it'll just be whatever I want to do for a new channel. So it kind of feels like a new starting point. And at the same time, it really kind of isn't, because I'm still going to be doing Blue Couch Productions. When a year goes by, it won't be my 1 year anniversary. It'll be my 6th. Like, nothing changes for me as far as my YouTube journey, as far as my progression, as far as anything, really. All this is simply just a refresh to literally another channel for algorithm gains. Every part of my process, everything that I've learned, everything that you've heard in this podcast, it's all the same channel to me, man. It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be another year of it, even if you can't see it on my About page. It may say the channel started in 2021, but for me, This is just an extension of what I was doing in 2016 and have been doing for the past 5 years.
Definitely.
And I hope people are around to check it out. It'll probably be up by the time you're listening to this, so check out the link. Rewatch the videos when they come out if you want to. Share with some friends. Share with people who might not have heard on Discord or anywhere else. I decided to announce it. And let's get it going.
Let's go.
I want it to be September now, but we're still in August, unfortunately. Recording ahead. So
yeah. It's nice
there'll be
follow-ups.
There'll be follow-ups for sure.
For sure. Well, are we good then? I think that's it. That was
pretty much
our topic. Let us know what you think about Aden's big change in the comments. Love to read them. Love for you to stick around as always. Topics. If you got topics for us, let us know, because that'd be epic. But other than that, I think I'm just going to say that I've been Zach.
And I've been Aiden.
Thank you for listening to this episode of another YouTube podcast.
Peace.
Bye. I don't have anything funny.
You're funny.
Thanks.
Funny looking.
Got him.